Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I love tiramisu. I don't know about you, but I love it. And I wanted to do something a little different with tiramisu. So I thought, why not put it in a cake form? And I didn't want to put it into a whole cake, so I thought, well, I'll just make cupcakes. So stick around. Today we are making tiramisu cupcakes. For today's recipe, I made my perfect white cupcake recipe, and I'll leave a link to that in the description below. The cupcakes come out so beautifully, really light, moist, and fluffy. And to that, I thought what I'd do is I'd add some coffee. This is 2 tablespoons of really strong coffee, and I'm gonna need more of this for later on. This recipe actually makes a lot more than 12, probably around 14 to 16. And I'm going to bake this at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. All right, our cupcakes are out of the oven. They're all cooled and they're looking beautiful and they're smelling delicious. And this is, I don't know what you would call this, a cupcake core, but I'm gonna take some of the middle out of each of the cupcakes because we're going to be filling them. So you just stick this in, kind of twist it around, and out comes the middle, like that. This is a really cool contraption. I'll leave a link to where I got this. I have to actually look it up. But if you don't have one of these, you can always use like an apple core to do this. Now we've cored all the middles of the cupcakes, and I just want to show you, it gives you a pretty nice little hole in the middle that you can put your filling in. In this bowl I have a ½ cup of heavy cream, and I'm going to mix that till soft peaks form, and then I'm going to put in a teaspoon of sugar and 2 tablespoons of coffee. This is going to mimic the coffee flavor that you would get in a tiramisu. Somehow the cupcakes are magically filled. Someone forgot to turn on the camera to film that segment. Now we're going to make our frosting for our tiramisu cupcakes. Our frosting is going to be a mascarpone buttercream. And I'm gonna add a little bit of coffee into that as well, so that we get the full coffee effect. So to a bowl in my stand mixer, I'm gonna add a stick of butter. Now I'm gonna add in our powdered sugar, and I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of coffee. And as you can see, it has a nice soft coffee color to it. And lastly, I'm gonna add our mascarpone cheese. And this is an 8-ounce container, and we're gonna add the whole thing. Our frosting is really looking quite lovely. It's really nice and smooth, very fluffy. And now all we have to do is frost. So I've filled my piping bag with that lovely frosting that we just made, and we're just going to pipe it on like that, just in some swirls. Now you couldn't really call these tiramisu cupcakes without that very generous sprinkling of unsweetened cocoa powder. So that's what we're gonna do right now. Now we have one more thing to do, taste test. So let's cut into one and see what we have. I'm gonna cut right down the middle. And look at that. I almost feel like this is fork worthy. In fact, it is fork worthy. Let's get a little bit of everything here. This definitely tastes like tiramisu in the form of a cupcake. The coffee filling in the middle is what really brings out that tiramisu flavor, because you have the coffee in the cake itself and coffee in the frosting, but the real coffee flavor is coming from the filling in the middle. Then you have the chocolate flavor from the cocoa powder that was sprinkled on top. I am so pleased with how these tiramisu cupcakes turned out. They are so yummy. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos, and I'll see you next time.